Welcome back.
Episode 2, the Twisted Mind podcast. Yeah, here we are again. First episode. What did we talk about?
I forgot.
You forgot. Yeah, it's so long
No,
ago.
like, first episode we talked about like how I met your father, and about the ideation, about the idea of the whole
Inception of
project,
Twisted,
the
I think
inception of Twisted.
It's going to be the YouTube title.
Okay.
I think we gave a short introduction to the origins of our collaboration. I think in this episode I want to talk about the stream and the evolution of the whole project during the live stream phase, and also about the setup. I think a key aspect of our of what we did was always the spirit of less is more, in a way that it's more about doing stuff than actually is a bit like quantity over quality. So obviously we were working on quality, but
like this is, I think, also like a similarity between both of us, like being highly perfectionists.
Yeah. That's
and
stuff for a whole
always working on quality and doing even more work to make it better.
Yeah.
And
we're still doing this, by the way.
We're still doing this, and which is also a good thing. Looking at the quality, but
awareness is
looking at the streams,
we were always,
and like wanted like the need to put out as much output as possible. And this was also like a good thing to limit our time.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that like the tools that we use to induce that creative process. Something we had this setup, and we kept evolving the setup, but still I think, and we have this one song on our first album, Come Down, which it's literally, I think, from the first live stream session we ever did, where we had your drum machine, the machine, then I think we had a keyboard and the grandmother, and it's like,
did we have the synthesizer?
Yeah, that's true. But it's like the most minimalist setup. Nothing fancy yet, but still
setup we started with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Still the song ended up on the album, because I think that's what I want to get to, is that even though the sounds weren't as fancy or whatever, it's still the spirit of the project, and that has been the spirit that we try to keep. Is it's do something with what you have and focus on doing, and not overthinking it and not overproducing it. Just use what you have at your disposal at that point in time, and just go and do.
And even
stuff.
Like let's take like 2 steps back. Even before that, before the streaming, we also started to make music, produce music with a kind of style, with like drum sets and stuff, and also we applied the voice effects before
the stream.
Yeah, I think we.
Oh, you mean in our sessions before, like the musical style? Yeah, it's not nothing.
Did we do like just music production before?
Yeah, sometimes.
And didn't we also use all these tools that we use in the stream later on? Plugins and sound effects?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. What's with Paralyzed?
Yeah, but I think that kind of developed parallel
okay.
to the streams. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of blurred a bit in my memory as well. But I think the musical style we had, it's not something that suddenly changed because we started streaming. I think the groundwork we laid before, we built upon that with the streams. I think what changed mostly is the environment we created in, like the whole setup.
Mm.
I kind of took on the role of like um, building the technical aspect of
Mm.
it, and like buying new controllers every week
Mm.
and setting it all up in Cubase, and um,
Building the whole, yeah,
yeah, the spaceship,
the spaceship. Yeah, basically,
uh,
it,
making sure that everything works or
it
doesn't
it
sometimes.
literally felt like a cockpit. Like
Yeah,
even the small room, you have the display and the screen before you with all the software, and around that there were like all the controllers, and
yeah, everything's
on the left
blinking.
side, on the right side.
Yeah, and well, on the other side, you were looking to develop our brand,
Mm-hmm.
like the whole online appearance, social media, graphic
Mm.
stuff, and we kept working together on the whole vision of the
Yeah.
project. Um, I just want to go into the setup a little bit. Don't want to get too technical, but I think one key aspect of how the streams look, if you look at the VODs, I think it is a very distinct look, which comes from the camera being like this top-down view,
Mm.
symmetrical almost view of the room,
Mm.
which was kind of, it's not something that is super planned, but it was kind of the
Only
only
possibility.
viable option in
Yeah.
that small room, because the layout of the room was set more or less.
Mm.
My mom didn't allow us to move the sofa away, so we had to uh, make do with that. And
Mm.
actually, initially,
How
the
many square
first,
meters is it
I
actually?
don't know, no idea.
Like
It's,
6
no,
ground
it's
floor?
probably 10.
Okay. Mm.
I don't know. It's very small.
Mm.
Um, we in the first two streams we had a different camera set. We had my original camera
Yeah.
set up where it was kind of in the corner of the room,
Mm.
and it just didn't feel the same. I think that's one of the most drastic changes in looks that we had. There were a couple of others. I think another one is the lighting,
Mm.
but it kind of also emphasized this kind of cockpit view, the cockpit thing that we were talking
Mm.
about. It's like this: you look into the room from that perspective, and you see all those controllers left and right.
Yeah. You had
I really like that
one side on
perspective.
the right side and the left side, like two mics,
Yeah.
different controllers,
Also, the
and
duality of
yeah,
our cooperation kind of
in the
embodied
in the
in,
back were like the guitars
yeah,
where you could sit down, and we always try to mix it up. And sometimes I was on the left side. Like mostly, we had our fixed sides. I was
yeah,
on the from camera perspective on the left side. You on the right side.
yeah. Because also we try to like separate the controls and stuff
Mm.
into what we would usually use. Like you were
Yeah, on the
more often doing
drums.
the drums, had your own microphone with your own effects.
Mm.
I was mostly like doing grandmother and the whole keyboard and
Mm.
arranging, and so this is how we just split up
Yeah.
the controllers as well.
Mm.
So most of that was just born out of necessity and just logical conclusion.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, it's something that's probably really interesting to observe is the development of the, I'm gonna call it cockpit now,
Mm.
through the years. If you, well, camera perspective for once, but then also um, more and more controllers,
Mm.
more and more sophisticated setups with
Mm.
like I think a big one was the big keyboard that
Yeah.
had so many buttons where
Yeah.
we could just enhance or like broaden our sound palette,
Yeah. Even more
um,
sound effects.
more drum kits, and
Mm.
it just grew very
Yeah.
sophisticated.
Yeah.
Um,
We also got more diverse, like talking about the drum kits as well. Like
yeah,
we um, had a much more diverse sound. Yeah.
yeah. So, but not only in sound, even in visuals. There's a couple of like milestones I think in my head that are really have really defined the whole feel of the stream. What comes to mind first is when we started. We always had this. I'm gonna preface this a bit. We
Mm.
always had this issue of it's kind of an issue with Cubase that we weren't able to create all the songs in the same session. So between songs, I always had to reload the session
Mm.
or load a new session, and so we had a bit of downtime always.
Mm.
And I think pretty early we came up with the idea of like we started using sound effects between the songs, faded them in and out, and then you also started talking. We also had like
Yeah.
chat interaction and
First of
stuff.
all, we had like a short break screen,
Oh yeah, you're right.
um, where you reloaded the
Yeah,
new session. But yeah, as you said, we put up the second camera.
that's what I wanted
Yeah.
to get to is that because I had this second camera lying
Yeah.
around. At some point, we were like, why don't we use it? And
Yeah.
we just set it up in the corner to only face your
Mm.
face, basically. And so we cut to that, which led to like a smooth transition
Mm.
by because on the other camera you would always see me click around while you
Mm.
were hovering around the room about in the room. And
Mm.
so that second camera really cleaned up the whole transition
Mm.
uh transition part of the stream. I really
I don't know,
as is
because it was always me like doing a monologue with deep voice,
yeah, but I think that was so vibey
and
always,
I was always struggling to come up with shit that's inside of my head, like just I mean, just talking gibberish and mumbling around,
Twisted.
and like just making it seem that there's some deep thoughts behind all of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, and, it was a lot of fun, like being like stepping out of your comfort zone actually, and just let it flow. And yeah, we always try to optimize everything. Like after each session, we sat down,
That's a very
looking
important one,
looking
yeah.
at the session. Like that was very important. I mean, what time did we start actually? Like around 7 o'clock p.m. 7 p.m.
I think 8 was the
A bit
usual
later, yeah.
time. Yeah, I think it was
First of all,
always
first of all,
8:30.
we made use of the delivery service. Burger.
Yeah,
We
always
always had
food.
burgers.
Always burger before stream. Yeah. Um
And after the stream, like shortly before midnight, like at 11 p.m. maybe, at like latest, we always sat down, looked at the stream, and
yeah, reflected. That
figured
was
things out
very important.
that
You're
needed to
absolutely
be
right.
optimized, because we had some technical issues from time to time,
Yes.
and we always like from like it was like learning, like it was.
I really enjoyed that. I think that's probably my favorite part of how we did it. Like that's not true, but I really I cannot stress enough how much I value those like reflections.
Mm.
It's really, I think, what led to the project becoming what it is.
Mm.
Because if we wouldn't have done that, I mean, it sounds very obvious,
Mm.
but then the progress would have been much slower
Mm.
at the very least. And so I think it's just that was just so important.
Mm.
We sat down and talked. We rewatched the stream usually,
Mm.
what worked well, what didn't work well,
Mm.
how could we improve. I mean, is I think that is literally how we came up with all
Mm.
the improvements that
Mm.
we made. We changed the lighting, we
Mm.
changed the transitions, we changed sounds. We This is kind of the work that had to be done in
Mm.
order to make
And that
progress.
was the quality work we did on the side. Like We always like that's what we talked about in the beginning. Had the focus to just put it out, being like
Yes.
streaming live, just stepping out of the comfort zone and just putting it out. And don't worry about the quality because that was something we could fix for every next stream.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's very well said, I
and also,
think.
like next week, I came to your place, and you just told me, okay, I just wrote it down, like these 5 things. You now can like
Yeah.
use that knob for the new effect, and as we talked about, and yeah, was
Yeah, I
just
kept working on
always
the setup and the
was always
sessions
improvement. Yeah.
during the week as well, obviously, because I was
Mm.
in that space the whole time.
It was very organically happening, like just
Yeah, and so
just a
this
beautiful
kind
thing.
of iterative process that we had is really something that I'm trying to apply to other projects I'm
Mm.
working on
Mm.
ever since. It's like really take your time to reflect
Mm.
and work on creating this kind of space where you can
Mm.
just get into the flow state,
Mm.
and then worry about, so you have the space
Mm.
in which you only worry about creating,
Mm.
and then there is a specific time where you worry about improving that space.
Mm. Yeah.
And by, I think, dividing it up in this way and creating like a certain time for these two processes,
Mm.
it really clears up the mind for me, um, and makes it easier to just work and be creative.
Mm.
But yeah,
This is the
as
way.
it
Yeah.
is really really interesting how that all developed.
Yeah.
Is, as you said, I think organically,
Mm.
is a good word, because we didn't really have a plan. We just started doing it and never looked back.
The rest is history. Yeah.
Yeah,
We also had some discussions in between. We had the open mic before, and then we talked like we talked about, okay, what do you
yeah,
want the
you're right.
stream?
First couple streams
What do you
were
want
open
with the
mic.
streams to be? Do we want it to be like behind the scenes content and like like having the full transparency, or do we make it like a sound experience, like focusing on just creating a beautiful soundscape or soundscapes and make it easier to listen to for the viewer? And actually, all the streams, every jam session, like every jam took about like, I don't know, around an hour,
Yeah, I'd say like 45 minutes
45
on
minutes
average,
to an
probably.
hour, sometimes longer, sometimes even longer, sometimes shorter. But yeah, I think a lot of people that were in the stream that enjoyed the stream, they just put it on in the background.
Yeah, for me that was always how I wanted the
Yeah.
stream to appeal to people, is as this kind of like study music in the
Mm,
background. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
is have a very consistent, as you said, sound experience
Mm,
where there is not a lot of disturbance,
mm,
which is why I always was against opening up the microphones. Also, because we were obviously talking in German during
mm,
the streams,
mm.
which for me is just it's like breaking character, you know, breaking brand, and I don't think
Yeah.
for me that would have worked well. And so for me it was always just focus on making the music and making the transition smooth, so
Mm.
you have this like 3 to 4 hours of just
Pure entertainment. Yeah.
pure music entertainment sound,
Mm,
that you can put up in the background. Well, some of the songs
mm.
ended up being a bit more crazy, which well, it's
A
just
little
kind of
bit,
part of the fun as
just a
well, I
little
guess.
bit. Yeah.
There is one topic that I want to talk about, which was kind of is kind of
Still a topic.
something. Yeah, it's has always been a topic, and
Yeah.
it's something we're still working on, and that's the deep voice, obviously, because I think you can say it's kind of our
USP.
USP, yeah,
Probably, yeah.
probably. Something that sets our music apart from other music definitely is that we heavily use deep voice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we started with the deepest you could get. I think it was minus
Mm,
12 pitch shift and just dark as fuck.
mm,
And it became more nuanced later on.
mm,
And now we're at a point, I think, where we are very aware of what it does and how we can use it. But we try to not overuse it.
mm.
And also,
Looking at the album, The Twisted Mind
yeah, that we were
was still very
thinking
present.
differently.
Yeah,
Yeah. We decided at some point, I think we talked about it, and
a
we just
lot.
decided to roll with it and just have
Mm.
everything.
Yeah, because the idea behind it was always that like voice inside of your head, like or maybe like some kind of alternative ego state in your head that is speaking from the darkness, from the
Yeah.
subconscious, from the like just a voice that keeps telling you, talking about fear, talking about like a needs, talking about sorrows, and like a lot of things. That's
Mm.
also a big um part of not only the brand but the album, The Twisted
Yeah.
Mind. And like looking back at it, yeah, no, a lot of people say, yeah, I don't know about the deep voice, I'm not really rolling with it. But for me, or for like maybe probably for us, like for you too, but personally speaking, uh it's just perfect as it is. Like it captured that moment, that idea.
For sure. Yeah.
And it is very unique, like happening on the whole album. But also, like you told before, we try to mix it up with different kind of voices,
Yeah. We always
also
kind of
higher
did. Yeah.
voice. And yeah, it just became this very unique style. That's
Aspect of our music as well. Yeah.
And it's we do not have to shy away from developing and like still use it, but maybe using it a lot, like a little bit less. I don't know, like think.
Yeah, I think we already have developed it. Like the new stuff
Mm,
that's going to be coming out now, it still uses deep voice,
yeah.
but I think it's a lot more listenable. And this is really, I think, the key question that always um, posed itself
Mm,
is it like, yes, we were making music for ourselves and to
mm,
express our emotions, and it was, we didn't really ever put too much thought into, are people gonna like this? But then again, obviously,
yeah.
I want people to listen to our music, because I want to share it for
Mm,
people to enjoy. And with a deep voice, I think the question that came up, is it also because we had a lot of feedback from people that were like a bit put off by the deep voice,
yeah.
is like, is it worth doing it when it seems to be like not really listenable
Mm,
for people, or like they don't enjoy it as
mm,
much, which eventually led to us trying to find like a compromise or a different
mm,
way of
yeah.
implementing. And we'll see the music that we bring out now, if it's going to be how the feedback's going to be on that.
Mm,
But back then, and I think I because of these questions, I sometimes struggle when I listen back to the first album, and I feel like there is some unexplored potential, especially in the vocal production.
yeah.
But then again, you're absolutely right. It is what it is, and
It
it's
is
it's good the
perfect.
way it
Yeah,
is.
it's just perfect. Yeah.
But yeah,
And I
so
also like the idea of that, and that this like album being the foundation for everything that's coming. And like for the deep voice to be like at least like a reoccurring theme, that's still just like captures that moment and that state of mind, like the deep voice inside of your head that's telling you.
yeah, I love this idea.
Yeah.
It's really something, and I think now that we talk about it, something that came to mind is probably because going back to what we talked in the first episode about as well is we never really communicated that to people as well. We just put out music,
Yeah.
and because we never did socials well or did share anything about our process like we're doing now, how were people supposed to know these things? How were people supposed to connect to the deep voice when they're just hearing a deep voice without any context?
Mm,
If we would have maybe communicated differently and told people the story to connect
mm,
them emotionally to the sound,
mm.
maybe the feedback would have been different.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I think there's always there will be still a lot of potential, like reaching out to like people that are interested or like the target group, because I think this is some potential we missed along the way to put out more content, to do more marketing, and that resulted maybe that we are not reached these people that
yeah,
probably like this music. Because looking at hip hop, there are a lot of artists that use deep voices, that pitching down voices. Also, there was the whole dirty south hip hop era, like the chopped and screwed. I told you about it, chopped and screwed
yeah,
era, with just that, like people or like artists taking music and just like pitching the whole track,
yeah,
like chopping and screwing. And there's a big, I think, a big target group that could potentially like the music that we still not, yeah, reached,
reach, yeah,
haven't reached. Yeah,
yeah. That I think sums it up really well.
yeah.
It's like a lot of potential,
Mm,
but a lot of development as well. Especially with after we stopped streaming because I left the country. Um, we started focusing a bit more on production,
mm,
and with that obviously came a lot of development in that area as well, and like working with different vocal sounds. And
mm,
so this is something that is always going to develop. And connecting back to where we started this conversation, um, the story is not over. Even though the streams are over, we are still working
mm.
on the whole project and developing.
We have a lot of sounds and sessions still
Yeah,
in the
that's
archives, in the twisted archives, that we can use and that we can, yeah. And also like looking at the future, us being separated, like on the other side of the planet, um,
different challenges.
new challenges
Yes,
and new ways of working. And this is very interesting to me, how this is going to unfold. And I mean, we have all the material, we have the sounds, we have the ideas, we have, we can produce like new lyrics and sending vocals and stuff.
I mean, if we have learned something from the past, um, if there's a challenge, by just doing it, we've
Mm,
pretty much overcome everything that we we might have thought uh, wasn't possible. So we're just gonna keep doing what we do,
mm,
keep the spirit alive, and yeah, work on this, work on our music.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that wraps it up nicely, I think, for this episode as well.
We hope to give you some inspiration,
Next
as
episode,
always.
we're going to talk about the album.
Yeah.
This is a big milestone for us as well. So stay tuned for that. Um, give us feedback, reach out to us. We want to hear from you. Other than that,
See you next time.
thanks for listening. Bye.